Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard unit review. Today we'll be looking at the Militarum Auxilla units, that's right, the OGRYNs and the Ratlings and all the abhumans of the Imperial Guard. They've got their little faction now, little sub-faction. I mean, I don't think it's physically possible for you to collect a matched play faction of these guys because you don't have an HQ choice. You will have to use them as Ashes Militarum, but hell, they have their own little faction now. Who cares? So let's take a look at OGRYNs. So OGRYNs, let's take a look at the stats. They've got movement 6, weapon skill 3+, blitz skill 3+, strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 3, attack 3, leadership 7, save 5+. So the important thing to look at here is two things. One, they are now weapon skill 3+. That makes me very, very happy because that means they are definitely a dedicated close combat unit. I probably would have been okay with them being weapon skill 4+, just because, you know, guard. But the fact they are weapon skill 3+ makes me very happy and makes them actually good at their job. The other thing I want to mention is the fact that they have retained their strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 3. I was slightly worried that we would get reduced in toughness down to toughness 4. OGRYNs in previous editions gone by have been toughness 4, and I thought that it was probably going to swing round again back to being toughness 4, but no, it looks like toughness 5 OGRYNs are here to stay. Now the squad contains one bonehead who has an additional attack and additional leadership, which is interesting. It should be noted that OGRYNs now have better leadership than like guardsmen and Tempestus Scions. OGRYNs have a basic leadership of 7, and other Imperial Guard infantry has a basic leadership of 6, and the sergeants have got leadership 8 for the OGRYNs, the bonehead. So crazy, right? I think that's just to represent that these guys are too thick to really panic all that much. Anyway, so you can add up to 6 OGRYNs to the squad. So you can't have 10 in a squad anymore. You can have one OGRYN bonehead and 2 OGRYNs, and then up to 6. Okay, fair enough. Each model is armed with a Ripper gun and frag bombs, not frag grenade, frag bombs. Interesting. We'll go straight to the frag bombs because it's an interesting distinction. They've got the same range, 6 inches, grenade D6, but they're strength 4. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I mean, I think it's really cool that they've got strength 4 frag grenades. I don't know when you're ever going to use them when you've got the Ripper gun, which is 12-inch range, assault 3, strength 5. I think I'd probably rather have the Ripper gun. But the fact that you've got the frag bomb, you know, it's just interesting. Now, they have an ability called Avalanche of Muscle, and I love this ability. On the turn in which the unit makes a successful charge, mods in this unit can make 1 additional attack in the fight phase the first time they fight. Basically, it's Hammer of Wrath, but it's 1 additional attack, which means you get to use your weapon. Now, this isn't essential for OGRYNs, but it is very important for Bullgryns that have the same rule. Now, I'm going to go straight into Bullgryns now, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison between the two units. So Bullgryns are exact same stats, so they've got a 4+ save, and they get frag bombs as well. Now you also get the Grenadier Gauntlet and the Bullgryn Maul. Now the Grenadier Gauntlet is 12-inch range, assault D6, strength 4, AP nothing, damage 1. So, but the Bullgryn Maul is strength +2, AP -1, and damage 2. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I never saw any reason to take Grenadier Gauntlets back in 7th edition, and I don't see any reason to take them now. Bullgryn Mauls are only 7 points a pop, which is so cheap, and the shields that you get to choose, you get to choose either Slav Shield or Brute Shield. They're both free. You don't pay for the shields anymore. And the Brute Shield gives you a 4+ invuln save instead of a 5+. That's great. That's improved. And the slab shield now just gives you a save characteristic of 2+. 2+! That's insane! It's absolutely insane. I mean, you don't... Units behind now no longer benefit from the OGRYN shields. But, guys, we essentially have Terminators here. Think about this. We have Terminators, which are toughness 5 and strength 5, with more wounds and more attacks. And I believe it's for about the same price as a Terminator, because a OGRYN is 35 points. Let's have a look at the points now. Let's take a quick look. Oh, I've got the page right here. So, an OGRYN is only 30 points, and a OGRYN is 35. Now, obviously, you have to pay. I'm just going to assume we're going to be taking OGRYN mauls. I'm not going to even consider the Grenadier Gauntlet, guys. It's 10 points. I mean, it's more than a OGRYN maul, yet it's significantly shitter. Okay, don't bother with it. Just don't. So, OGRYN maul, 7 points, which for 42 points, you get a model that has 3 wounds, 3 attacks, a 2+ save, strength 7 because of the OGRYN maul, AP -1, toughness 5, hitting on a 3+. Oh, don't forget the turn you charge, 4 attacks per guy. That's 5 from the bonehead. That's insane! That's absolutely insanely powerful. And let me tell you guys, I have used OGRYNs. I used them last weekend. And they are so good with slab shields. I didn't bother with the brute shield with the 4+. I know a lot of people are talking about mixing weapons, mixing shields. Yeah, sure, go for it. I'm not that bothered. I personally just went for the slab shield because I've always wanted to take the slab shield and brute maul, and now I can take the slab shield and brute maul. And let me tell you what happened. My OGRYNs, I put 3. I took 2 squads of 3 and put both in chimeras, and I had a priest in one of the chimeras as well, because the priest gives you +1 attack to all models within 6 inches. And what happened was the OGRYNs got out of their transports, and I blew up an enemy Rhino which had 10 assault marines in, and then I charged the assault marines and beat the shit out of them. Absolutely beat the ever-living shit out of them. I had 5 attacks on the charge per OGRYN, +1 for the sergeant. That's 60 attacks per squad. 5 attacks because of Avalanche of Muscle plus the priest. Okay, so that's 5 attacks. That meant I had 32 attacks, hitting on a 3+. So I hit with about 20, wounding on 3, so I wounded about 15 roughly, -1 to my opponent's save, so you had a 4+. Just absolutely beat to snot most of the squad. I think there was a sergeant with a power fist left and 1 guy with a chainsaw. I think I was slightly lucky. And then I got countercharged by a unit of assault marines, by 2 more units of assault marines, and one of them had a power sword. And they just bounced. They completely bounced. Because the assault marines have only got 2 attacks each, remember? So I got hit, and they weren't full squads. I think one was like 8 and one was like 7. They'd had some damage. So I got charged by about 15 assault marines, roughly. So in the combat, there was about 18 models, because obviously there's a couple that left over. I think I took like 2 wounds. Like 3 wounds in total, 2 on one squad, 1 on another. Because my opponent was able to hit me on 3+. But he wasn't hit with that many attacks. He hit with what, like 30 attacks? So he hit me with 20. Then he's wounding on 5. So he only wounded me with like 5 or 6 wounds. And then it's like, oh, well, the power sword didn't manage to wound me. So I've got to take 5 2+ saves. Oh, I'm fine. Absolutely fine. So yeah, OGRYNs, guys, absolutely fantastic. Now, I've given a lot of love to the OGRYNs, and I said I would do a little comparison between OGRYNs and OGRYNs. In my opinion, OGRYNs have their place as budget OGRYNs. Okay? Because what you've got to remember is OGRYNs are 12 points more than an OGRYN. So, Now, obviously, for that 12 points, if you take a slab shield, you're getting a 2+ save, and you're getting better close combat capability. So I would say Bullgryns are straight up better than OGRYNs. Okay? However, OGRYNs are not bad. OGRYNs are not bad at all. They're just not as good as Bullgryns, but they are cheap. I mean, at the end of the day, if you take a 3-man Bullgryn squad with mauls, you can take for the same price 4 OGRYNs. Now, that's basically what it comes down to, guys. I would say that OGRYNs are still a good choice. They're more of a budget choice. But like with pretty much everything in the Guard Codex, you're not going to be penalised. If you've got a love for OGRYNs, you're not going to be penalised for taking them. Yeah, Bullgryns are better. Bullgryns are the better choice. But you are going to be paying more points for them. And if you're just taking OGRYNs because they're a fluffy choice and they fit in with your army's fluff, then hell, take the OGRYNs because they're the cheaper way for you to fulfill your fluff desires. So they are legit. And like I said, Bullgryns are amazing. Okay, I'm going to sum this up and then going to move on. Bullgryns are amazing. OGRYNs are good. There you go. Neither choice is bad. Let's move on. Ratlings. Right. Let's take a look at Ratlings. They have movement of 6, weapon skill 5+, so they won't be hitting dick in close combat. Blitz skill 3+, excellent, strength 2, toughness 2, standard for Ratlings. Wounds 1, attacks 1, only leadership 5, and only 6+ save. Okay, Jesus Christ. Let's have a quick drink. Now, you used to be able to get away with just taking 3 Ratlings, I believe. I believe the minimum squad size used to be 3. Now the minimum squad size is 5. So you've got to take 5 Ratlings in a squad. And you can take another 5 Ratlings. Now, each model is armed with just a sniper rifle. Now, Ratlings are 5 points basic. That's it. And then it's 2 points for the sniper rifle. So they're only 7 points a pop. They are the most efficient snipers in the game. The most efficient snipers, point-efficient snipers in the game. Because they hit just as good as every other sniper. The sniper rifle they have, it's just standard. It's 36 inch range, heavy 1, strength 4, damage 1. Abilities, they can target characters even if they're not the closest unit. If you roll a 6+ for this weapon, it inflicts a mortal wound in addition to its normal damage. So there you go. Now, they have 3 special rules which are all really good. Find the best spot. Instead of deploying normally, this unit may wait until both armies are fully deployed and then be placed anywhere on the board that is more than 18 inches away from enemy models. Infiltrate. Great. That basically means that your Ratlings are always should always be in range or something. Because 36 inch range isn't quite enough to cover the whole battlefield. With that rule, they will be. The next one I want to talk about is naturally stealthy. The models, they basically come with camo cloaks. They get 2+ the saving throw when in cover instead of 1. So if you put them in cover, they're going to have a 4+. That's alright. I think they used to have a better save than that. They used to be able to get a 2+ cover save. Because there used to be 4+ if you... Yeah, it used to be you put them in ruins and then they had stealth, I think. I think they used to get a 2+ cover save or a 3+ cover save. Basically, their save is worse, which is why they cost so much less. The reason why Ratlings are almost half points is because they've only got a 4+ save at the best of times. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Shoot Sharp and Scarper. This is a rule they had last edition as well. Immediately after making a shooting attack, this unit can move as if it were the movement phase, though it cannot advance as part of this move. Now, this is a really good rule because it means if you've got an enemy that's coming towards you, you can then shoot and then move backwards, and it means that you never have to worry about this unit not being able to move and shoot because maybe you need to get them across the board. I don't know. Basically, it's a good rule. However, I just want to mention, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I read in the FAQ that it has been clarified that you cannot use this ability in Overwatch. because there was a really cool little thing that people were saying, which was if you get charged, if your Ratlings get charged, they can shoot, and then as per the rule, immediately after making a shooting attack, they can move, and so they'd move 6 inches backwards and would fuck over most opponents' charge ranges, especially if your opponent was going for a bit of a longer charge. However, I believe that's been FAQ, so you can't do that anymore. Overall, like I said, Ratlings are the cheapest snipers in the game, and they snipe just as well as everyone else's snipers. They are just much easier to kill. That's the trade-off. The reason they're so cheap is because, unlike a Space Marine sniper, which is toughness 4 and has a 2+ save, a Ratling is only toughness 2, which means even bolters will be winning them on 2s, and they've only got a 4+ save. That's why they're so cheap. The last thing is Orc Dead Dog. Orc Dead Dog is a purely fluffy character. I'm not sure how much he costs, but I think I can say with confidence he's not a competitive choice. He's 80 points, so is he worth 2 Bullgryns or about 3 OGRYNs is what you've got to ask yourself. He's weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 6, attacks 4, leadership 8, and he's got a 4+ save. He comes with, he is kind of interesting actually, he comes with a Ripper gun, and he comes with a huge knife. Now the huge knife is, the Ripper gun's standard, the huge knife is strength user, so strength 5, AP -1, damage 2. So it's kind of like a Bullgryn Maul, just strength 5 and strength 7. And then he's got Thunderous Headbutt. Nort can make a single Thunderous Headbutt attack each time he fights. So one of his attacks you can put into Thunderous Headbutt, which you're always going to do considering it's strength +3, so strength 8, AP -2, D3 damage. Let me just put this into context. Orc Dead Dog can headbutt someone with the same power as a battle cannon shell. Not as many shots, but the same power. His headbutt is as strong as a battle cannon. I find that very amusing. Also a bit stupid. Anyway, he comes with frag bombs as well. Now he has Avalanche of Muscle. And he has the Heroic Sacrifice rule. If Orc Dead Dog is slain in the fight phase, you can immediately fight with him before removing his model as a casualty, even if he has already been chosen to fight during that phase. So if he dies, he still gets to fight. Loyal to the end. Roll a d6 each time a friendly Ashen Militarum character loses a wound whilst he is within 3 inches of Orc Dead Dog. On a 2+, the Ashen Militarum character does not lose a wound, but Orc Dead Dog suffers a mortal wound. Overall, Orc Dead Dog is pretty good, but I just don't think he's worth 80 points. I'm not going to go much into him. Again, he's a fluff choice. You won't be overly penalised for taking him, and he probably is worth about the same as 2 Bullgryns. And remember, he's a character, so people need snipers to target him, so that could be interesting. But overall, I'm not sure how worth it he is. If he was 50 points, I'd say he was an auto-include, but whatever. So guys, that's it. Tell me what you think. Have you guys had much experience with OGRYNs? I know plenty about Bullgryns being awesome and Ratlings being good, but I don't know much about OGRYNs, and I am kind of tempted to pick up a couple of boxes. So if anyone out there has got any experience with OGRYNs, please leave a comment. And as always guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful and informative, and I will see you guys next time.